Together, we're running this together. I know it's not a movie, but I don't get that. So yeah, obviously when Marvel did the thing with Netflix originally, with Daredevil, the first two seasons, Luke Cage season 1, Iron Fist season 1, and I think the first season of Jessica Jones, all built up to this season, which I like. I know. I think like this one is one that I think I'm gonna move my chair a bit. This one is I think one that not a lot of people like because again I've heard a bit about it. For instance, I think Iron Fist season 2 isn't liked compared to the other season. I've heard a couple of people not like Luke Cage season 1 and Luke Cage season 2 a lot of people didn't really like. But I can't comment on those because I haven't even started those. Again, complications, reasons, BS, all of the above. But I have to say that I actually find this cool and awesome and I love it. Again, I like the actions and the reason why people didn't like it, I'm going to say in spoilers because it's heavily spoiler reasons, but I do find it really interesting as you're finally getting people, besides I think 2 of them, haven't really met because Danny Rand, who is Iron Fist, hasn't met any of these people before. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage has met in season 1 of Jessica Jones, as in one of the characters who's in it is Luke Cage, which I really find interesting. And then you have, what's his actual, I always remember him as in, why am I always saying Punisher? It's Daredevil, which is, again, really weird name. Matthew Murdock. None of them would have any connections. I also like the fact that yes, the whole thing is the group, but you also see for people connect who are the supporting cast to their group, which is really clever. You have the sort of legal person, which is both from Jessica Jones and Iron Fist seasons. You get the detective from Luke Cage. You also get the private PI that you have in Jessica Jones. You also have the Daredevil or Matthew Murdock's partner, or ex-partner at this time. And then you get his also person who writes the thing but then left and then went part of news agencies. It's very weird and I'm really bad at names, so that's why I'm not saying it. She's in this and I love all of it, but it's like, because this is sort of like TV's Avengers. It's just a bunch of people and let's get on to that part. Yeah. So, a couple of reasons why I'm fine with this, as a quick note, is I see this as sort of coming together and trying to sort of like have a group. So having the problems be how does the group gel, how does the group come together, I think is better than here's the villain, here's the big bad, here is evil. That is good, and I get why, but I also get that the Hand kind of is built up at this point. Because in Jessica Jones season 1, Luke Cage season 1, and Daredevil season 1, you don't get much besides, I think, Stick, who also was in this, who mentions it. I think not by the specific Hand, but you don't get much. But when you get Daredevil season 2 and Iron Fist season 1, that heavily brings it up. The fact that it's I kind of get, definitely when you see Iron Fist, having the Hand be the villain that's not fully taken down yet in that series, and bring it up here, and a lot of people say that the idea that the Hand doesn't seem as mysterious as it was before. I fully get. And it's one of those things that is interesting. But for me, I'm fine with it. Does the Hand not look as suspicious as before? Yes. It doesn't feel, definitely, because I like Iron Fist, and I like the idea that it's like shady underground dealings, like, oh, who's playing who's trying to do this sort of thing to like boost the others up. I do think it's interesting. But the idea that they'll die, I get why it's annoying, but because I kind of prefer the focus on being more on how the group of 4 people who, besides 2 knowing each other, aren't really getting along, having friction, I think it's more interesting. It's like, but the thing is, this, I think, is after, even if you look at, go all the way back to Daredevil season 1, and this is going to be a long video, sorry about that, Daredevil season 1, it's, oh, rent cheap because of what happened in Avengers 1. So, having that in mind, I do get it. Because how I liked it is because of the friction. And understanding that the villains aren't that good, but you get good friction, and I think that's where that's where I enjoy. But the thing is, the Avengers, the first Avengers, did that with a good villain called Loki. Also someone else, but that's not really in the Avengers, that's sort of in the first set until the Infinity Wars, which I'm not going to really talk about. But I get in the first Avengers, Loki has this mysterious nature. He's trickster. That's his name. He's the god of tricks of sorts. And he does these tricks with this group of like Iron Man, Captain America, and a lot of these names are a bit bigger, either being gods, war heroes, or like literal, I don't know how wealthy at that point Tony Stark was, but they're probably literal billionaires. Compared to, I think, people not as, besides Luke Cage, who has his whole community just absolutely respecting him. He isn't, because it is proven that he didn't do it, besides the whole thing and the thing. He is the only one seen in highlight, and Danny as Iron Fist, maybe? But again, you kind of see that he's kind of a fish out of water, so he's not that sort of like, quote-unquote, billionaire, I have money, look at me, like Tony is. So they seem more down to earth. But because that one had the conflict of the group and the friction and a good villain, I feel like a lot of people might. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I like this even though the villain, even in my opinion, isn't great. But yeah, I understand why people don't like it, because the villain, the Hand is a big organization in the comics, but because I don't read them until recently, I'm actually reading a couple, I am fine. It's there. I don't mind. So yeah, sorry for that being long, but I just needed to point that out because I did know you to acknowledge it. But I do like this still, and I would still recommend it. Obviously, watching the previous seasons I mentioned, but yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and next, let's go. Good night.